Hi, everybody. Hi, Lady V.
Hello,
How is your night going?
I'm awesome. How are you?
I'm doing well. Let me see who is in chat. Hello, Misfit. Hello, Clumsy. So, am I like yelling at all of you?
No, but if you're straightening your voice, you can lower it a little bit.
Okay, I have my mic too loud. That's the problem.
Mm.
I don't know how to turn it down.
Oh, no, you're good. I just worry about if you're talking too loud for your throat. It's hard on your throat.
Oh,
But
no, it's
you're
okay.
perfect for as far as that goes.
Oh, okay. Well, if I'm too loud, just turn the
I'll
volume
say,
down
quit
on your
yelling
computer.
at me.
Hi, Princess. Megan, Elsa, Edward, so good to see you. Let me see who else we have here. I saw Mark. Hello again. Happy you're here. Elisa. Let me see who else. Let me
Edward said it's
see.
not as loud as when his mom yelled at him when he was a kid.
Hopefully
Mine
she didn't
either.
have hopefully she didn't run at you with a spatula or anything, or
Oh,
like
mine did, yeah.
yours did. Mine
Oh,
didn't, but I had friends who their parents ran at them with spatulas, and
oh,
I'd
in
be
our
like,
day, it was
yeah.
go cut a switch from the tree for me to spank your butt. That was my day. And yeah, you always chose the little bitty ones because you didn't think it hurt as bad. And oh my word, it was, yeah, not good. And wooden spoon,
Aw,
yes.
I'm
Hey, I
sorry.
deserved it. I was a little bit of a rebel.
Lady V was a bad girl.
Oh, it's another lifetime ago.
Let's see who else we have. Okay, we have Past. Hello, good to see you, Past. We have who else do we have? Austin. Hello, aloha. I said
Awesome.
aloha, hello, hello, hello twice. People in my sister would be like, "Ugh, what are you doing? You're a disgrace to Hawaii." But oh well.
Are
Hello.
you from Hawaii? Or are you
I'm
just saying
not,
it
but I
because
have
your name?
family there.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. Hello, Roxanne. Hello, Amber. Let me. Okay, so I think I said hi to everybody. If I didn't, then I'm sorry, and you can yell at me in the chat. And yes. So, who I think everyone here is familiar with the Oregon case going on right now, the possible serial killer. I mean, I think it is. It seems like too many coincidences to not be. Lady, we should probably say SK. I mean, I'm very worried
Let's
about
be
this live
careful. Yeah,
stream.
let's be careful.
I know, yeah. With everything going on with my channel right now, but
Yeah.
yes, so but if you're familiar with this case, the in Portland, can you put a 1? If you're not familiar, yes, Misfit SK. If you're not familiar, put a 2. Or if you just know a little bit about it, put a 3. Lady V says a 1. Well, I
I
hope you
don't know
know,
all
Lady
about it
V.
though. I don't know all about it though. I've been like on and off looking at things today. I My hubby needed some attention.
So let's see who someone put a 2. So Mark says a 2. Okay, good. So we will enlighten you tonight, Mark. Edward says a 2.
Melissa Jade.
Au-
Yay.
Austin says 1.5. Hey, Melissa. Clumsy said a 3. So we have a lot of
I
a mixture. Misfit said a point 0.5. Point 0.5 Misfit. We have a lot of
oh,
different numbers in here.
Princess used to go to Oregon with her ex-boyfriend for a while. Yeah, I've been there. It's different.
So Oregon, I've been looking into it. Oregon has like a lot of the most famous serial SKs. I'm gonna end up saying it throughout this whole live. Oregon has a ton of famous SKs.
They
Like
do.
I'll go through the list, and I may not even name all of them, but there's a ton of them, and that's just the ones that have been caught.
I
So
wonder if it has something to do with the weather and like the atmosphere of Portland too. I mean, it's got a different feel to it when you go there.
I I mean, I almost moved there, not to Portland, but to Bend, Oregon. And I did like go there for a while. I didn't actually move there, but it was like a long story. I said it on another live before, but I'm happy I didn't end up moving there. But yes.
Yeah,
Hi, Scott. Sure. I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but
it's
glad that you're
beautiful.
here. Yeah, it is beautiful. I've been to Mount Bachelor, that's in Bend. So
I
yeah, it
went
is
to
a
that
beautiful place.
waterfall. I went to that waterfall. You can't pronounce that one. I have no idea. Okay, I just got your notification that you're live, sweetheart.
Okay. All right. So now people might be getting it.
Yes.
Bend is beautiful and amazing. My favorite city I've ever lived in, Amber Love Rain said. Yeah. Have you been to Mount Bachelor before?
Me,
I've
no.
been there quite a few times as when I was younger.
I mean, I think it'd be different. I mean, you go different places in different states, it has a different atmosphere to it, you know?
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Edward,
I mean, it's absolutely gorgeous there for sure.
yeah, they have pretty lakes and all of that, but I would
I just wonder.
definitely.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna say I would not wanna be there right now, that's for sure.
No, I was just going to say, I wonder uh, with the weather and everything, if maybe that might have something to do with it, with all the rain and all of that. But because Washington, there's a few that go around in that area too. So I always wondered if it has anything to do with that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Seattle and say because that is, like, one of the rainiest places and people are that has high. See, I can't say anything. I'm not gonna have to spell it out, has high S rates. I don't even know if people know what I'm talking about, but I think they do,
Okay.
right?
Melissa's yelling, Val! Amber is from the area and she runs a Facebook group regarding this and has some of the victims' families in there. She knows all about this. Well, get a hold of her.
Yes, I'm in it, Lady V, that's what I was saying. I wonder if I could post this in there or not. You said no, but I don't know if you knew what I was talking
Oh,
about.
no, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Amber, oh, you need to. Okay, I have tips in here. I'll get through them on. I'm sure you're doing everything as safe as possible, but about what everyone should be doing. I hope that you were like, well, I have a list of everything that I like. If you're in the area, what you should be doing. But let me get to like everything. Of course, have a ton of videos and everything about the case. So let me start getting, and I have an interview with the sister, and there's more links like connections between some of the victims going on right now that they have found out. Cops, of course, don't want to say anything about it being a possible SK yet. Let me get to the information that I have. So, yes. So again, they have had big SKs. Starting out, let me go on. Well, I'll wait to get to the list. Let me play some of the information so people know what we're talking about.
Right. How you guys all doing? It's so wonderful
Yeah,
to have
how's
you
everybody's
here.
weekend?
I know Alex, she was swimming a lot of the day. She got a sunburn. I saw her just for a few minutes on her when that came up. When she started her life, I mean.
Mark, it's a ski resort. Mark said Mountain Bachelor sound like something else.
Let's put preen, okay? Let's not do yeah, be careful what we say. We use code words in here.
Oh, thank you so much, Amber. Misfit said, best weekend ever. Glad you're having a good weekend, Misfit.
Well, I can't say ever, but it's been a nice weekend so far.
Yes, I love your picture too, Lady V. I know someone said they loved your picture. I
Oh,
love it as well.
thank you.
Amber says, Bachelor is one of the best mountains in Oregon to snowboard. It's amazing. Yes, I agree. Okay,
Uh,
so let me get
hang
to one
on.
of the videos. Talking on mute. I'm saying I'm gonna get to one of the videos and then I'll read a couple articles and then I wanna so not only is there the 6 um, women that have been, I don't even know if I can say killed on here, but the 6 women that have been unalived, okay, I'll say that.
Yes,
There's
I'm on.
so many missing women, and I'm gonna show all of their pictures as well. I'm sure there's much more than that have been shown in the group, but there's so many missing women as well. I think that it's many more than 6. Like, I said to Misfit earlier that I think that it's probably, like, at least 15 probably. That's not the case, but
It's long. I know that. I mean, it's a long, long thing.
But it is very interesting that they have brunette hair for the most part. I mean, I know the one girl has more of, like, reddish kinda hair. They all are between 22 to 40. They do kinda 3 are frequenting the same spots, so there again are those similarities. So it does remind me kind of Ted Bundy. You know, I know he was going more after sorority girls, but here, let me start playing so people can understand it a little bit better. ADV, you have the floor.
I have the floor. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yes, will I get the video? Oh, you know how to entertain.
Yes, I'm fine. I'm like copying and pasting. I got it. You go do your thing. Okay, so does anybody else have a channel that you would like me to post on here? Mark or Misfit
Oh,
or
Misfit has that under control, right, Misfit?
okay. I was gonna say
Yeah.
because I'm like going back and forth. Yeah, it does remind me of Ted Bundy too. Yeah, if the lady wore black hair. Well, too, but her face, even though her hair's a little bit different, she still resembles the rest of them.
Exactly. Hi, Dom5. I think it's Dom5 or Dom S. Sorry, I don't have my contacts in. Dom S.
Past, hello. Past has one. I
Uh,
yeah,
I'm
they're trying
talking
to.
on mute again.
Oh, yeah, they're trying to be careful not to say it's an SK just yet, but everybody's thinking it.
I think there's 2 reasons for that. I think 1, they don't wanna freak out the town, and then also they don't wanna, like, tip the possible SK. They don't
Right.
want him to get scared and possibly, like,
Change
go.
it up. Yeah.
Yeah, because he could change his MO, he could just change his calling card, whatever he's doing, he could end
Yeah.
up changing it up, and then
Go to
say
someplace
because.
else.
Yes, like, one right now has blunt force trauma, and so say if the next person is stabbing, then it looks like it could be 2 different people. But what's more likely, 1 SK or 6 random killers? Like, I mean, it makes more sense to be 1 person doing this to me. But here, let me get one of the videos because I have
I
multiple.
do
And
agree
then
with.
we have the lovely Nancy Grace. So, one moment, though.
I like Nancy.
I love Nancy. She's an acquired taste, though.
Yeah, she is. But I've watched her for years. Uh, yeah, I've watched Nancy for years. I would not want to have been her child. I I don't think you could have gotten by with anything with her. Can you imagine that face staring you down? Ooh,
No, I would not wanna be one of her twins. That would be very scary.
no. Okay, gosh, I got it. Oh, I'm on the wrong. Oh, hang on. That's what's wrong. Sorry, guys. I'm changing back to my other. I have 2 different accounts that I have her on, and I got mixed up. So MK Ultra. Ooh. I bet you got some stories. Hiking and gear review.
Actually pretty interesting. This is a longer video than the other, so let me get this one out. It has some pretty detailed information. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. And press 1 if you can hear it as well.
6 women found dead
Yes.
in the Portland, Oregon area. Now investigators are working to see if the deaths are connected. We talked to a veteran prosecutor about whether or not a serial killer could be on the loose. I've covered a lot of crime stories over the years, many of them here at Law and Crime. It always gets me thinking about how important it is for all of us to stay safe. This is Palm pepper spray, and it can help you do just that. Palm pepper spray is a small but mighty self-defense tool. It sprays up to 12 feet using the strongest legal form of pepper spray available. It's safe and easy. You just point and spray. And if you want to try it, you can get 10% off. Use the promo code LawCrime10 when you log on to palmpepperspray.com. And remember, if you or anyone else is ever in danger, always call 911. Between February and May of this year, the bodies of 6 women were found within a 100-mile radius of one another in the greater Portland, Oregon area. The discoveries have led to speculation on social media that the deaths could be the work of a serial killer. The first was Kristen Smith. Her body was found on February 19th. Joanna Speaks' death has been ruled a homicide. Her body was found in early April. Bridget Webster vanished in early March, and her body was found in late April. Charity Perry's body was also found in late April, and Ashley Reel's body was found in May. The remains of an unidentified Native American woman were found in late April, but the Portland Police Bureau says her death is not believed to be suspicious. The Portland Police Bureau also said over the weekend that they have no reason to believe the deaths are connected, but law enforcement agencies are working together to determine whether or not they are, which they say is common practice. Some of the deaths have been labeled suspicious, but the cause of the deaths have not been revealed. Joining me to discuss how these law enforcement agencies will determine whether or not they actually have a serial killer on their hands, whether or not these deaths are connected in any way, is Mark Piepmeyer. He is a veteran prosecutor out of Hamilton County, Ohio. That's the Cincinnati area. And he's been involved in investigating and prosecuting many serial killers, including Joseph Paul Franklin, Samuel Little, and Anthony Kirkland. Mark, welcome to Sidebar. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. You're welcome. And actually, the first one I prosecuted was Alton Coleman.
Oh, okay. So it goes back quite a ways, right?
Yeah, that was 1984.
Wow, that's a long time ago. Did you do Donald Harvey too?
No, I did not do Donald Harvey.
Okay. Let's talk first of all. You read the story about this speculation, the fear in the community that there could possibly be a serial killer. In
Yeah,
reading the stories about this, give me your take.
I would agree. It's the victims appear to be the same type of victims, and some of the serial killers I've prosecuted, they're going after a particular type of victim. That's what I would use. Anthony Kirkland as an example there, and also Alton Coleman. They both had who they're picking, and actually Joseph Paul Franklin, who was an avowed racist, uh, he shot Larry Flint because he had the audacity to have a white, naked girl in his magazine with a black man. Uh, the 2 kids he killed in Cincinnati, he shot. He came here just because he was looking for African Americans to shoot. That was the entire reason behind. So there's a victimology there. Anthony Kirkland, who preyed on young girls, he liked to find younger women or girls. His gig was to rape them, strangle them, and then set their bodies on fire. Alton Coleman was just killing for the sake of killing. He just enjoyed killing. But again, he preyed on young, predominantly African American girls. And then the fourth one I tried, Samuel Little, preyed on prostitutes. Sam Little was a little bit different because to him, because I went out and actually interviewed him at a prison in California, his way of getting sexual gratification was to physically strangle someone. That's how to him, that was sex. And he even told me, I'm just having sex with these women. Some people do intercourse. To me, sex is putting my hands around a lady's neck and strangling her. And he specifically sought out people that he thought would not be missed. So he would go to inner city areas.
That man was sick. Did I stop it? Hello? Are you muted?
Yes, I'm muted. I'm answering yes. I'm answering yes, I'm muted while I'm still muted. I'm like, yes, yes, I'm muted, and it's still muted. But
Oh
I
my
was
goodness.
I was making up a point, and let me see if I even remember that point, that he was preying on people that he thought wouldn't be missed. So I feel like this killer may be doing the same thing, and obviously these women are missed by their families and people that love them. But a lot of these are women are houseless, and I've learned by Amber by watching Melissa's live that in Oregon it's not homeless, it's houseless.
Houseless, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of them are houseless, so he feels that these are maybe easier prey, and a lot of them do have substance. I don't even know if I should bring that up or not, if that's even. But he that maybe I'm thinking that this. I know people are saying it could be a trucker possibly, but I'm thinking it could actually be someone that is an undercover. Like, I mean, not undercover, that they're pretending that they're a police officer.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, and they coulda got a car at a police auction. I don't know if let me keep I just wanted to, pause it and then play it so I don't get in trouble for the news
Sure,
clips again, but and then give more information of what I'm thinking. But just
sure.
because he said about women that weren't missed and bring up that point.
I
So,
just want to say one thing before we start it again. It
yes.
really bothers me when people think they're preying on somebody that's not going to be missed, because I don't care who you are, somebody is going to miss you. It may not be family and stuff, but you have friends and everything. People are going to notice people aren't there.
Exactly. I completely agree. Even in the houseless community, even in the house community, they will notice.
Yeah, I mean, they watch out for each other. My understanding is they watch out for each other and they know who's around them. They
Yeah,
might not be able to like voice it publicly or anything to get attention, but they're missed.
exactly.
Okay.
Some of the comments are as well. Let me see. Green Valley SKR did that too. It's shameless. That's what Clemsy said. Misfit said, yes, someone will always notice, even a neighbor or a coworker.
Yeah.
Carly said, smash that like button. um,
There are no throwaway people.
Yes, people will pull over with any cop lights. I will not. I definitely won't. Like, because I've watched too many of these true crime cases, and there's a case, Blake Chappelle, but that's another case, another story that I'm going to cover. And I think that's what happened with him was an unmarked, I mean, a fake cop car, like from an auction. But people most of the time will pull over if they think it's the cop stopping them.
I
And
always try to get in an area where there's people if I can, or get
yeah.
off on an exit or under a light or something where people can see better.
But yeah, that's a great point, Mark. I mean, people go I automatically, even if I've done nothing and I walk into a 7-Eleven and I see cops, I'm like freaking out. Even though I've done nothing, I don't make eye contact. I'm like, oh God, a cop is here. So that's just how I
I
am.
always just thank them for their service.
Oh, that's nice of you. I don't make eye contact. I just avoid.
I'll talk to anybody.
Misfit says, I drive faster. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
I drive. Yeah, I drive. Yeah, I just got a ticket for
Oh, Dawn. Okay. Love you too. I hope that he feels better.
Bye, Don. I put your link in the chat, so if anybody wants to sub, I already subbed to you, so.
Okay, yeah, everyone sub to Dawn. And we'll probably put more of the links at the end of everything. But yes, sub to Dawn for sure. She's amazing. I've known Dawn a long time. But let me play more of this, and I'll probably pause it again in a little bit.
Okay.
Find prostitutes, pick them up, get them in his car, and then he would do his deed. So those are the four that I actually went to trial on. And again, looking at your case, the victimology seems similar, which someone is, in my opinion, targeting those type of women.
So let's talk about that, because as a prosecutor, and your resume it's very impressive, very long. You have a lot of experience in this realm. You often work hand in hand with detectives, with law enforcement officers when you look at this. So tell me, you talked about victimology, obviously. Tell me what else you're going to be doing and what else you're going to be looking for, or what they will be doing out in the Portland area to determine whether or not these are indeed connected, whether these are even homicides.
Yeah, and I'm not sure physically how close those are, but one of the first things you do is figure out, is the person operating in a particular area. Anthony Kirkland, for instance, it was close to where he was actually living, so he wouldn't actually have to drive to different parts of town to find these people. You also then try to see, is there a time of day or a night where these people went missing? And that's really the key. Where were they when they went missing, and what time of day or night was it? So you could try to maybe almost put out a trap for the person. We've never actually gotten to the point where we had a like a bait victim out there, because you'd be putting someone at risk to put someone, in this case, a young lady like the ones in Oregon, find someone to go to maybe a desolate area and wait to be kidnapped and murdered. It's more times than not, it's going to end bad. But that's really what you're trying to do. Try to foresee, well, what is he looking for? And you get a guy like Joseph Paul Franklin and Sam Little, they operated across the entire country. So it was kind of hard. It'd be hard in that situation. But if you have a localized serial killer like you have in Oregon, I would think that if I would meet with the police there, that would be our thing. Who's going to be his next victim? As best you can predict who he's looking for, what time of day or night, and where.
One of the detectives, or at least a police officer with the Portland Police Department, really kind of poured cold water on the idea that this could possibly be a serial killer. But are we possibly too early to make that statement? He wanted to kind of back off that, claim or that speculation. I mean, if we have victims who appear to be of similar backgrounds, of victimology, as you mentioned, I think it's only logical to look at whether or not these could be connected.
I would agree, and I think you are dealing with a serial killer. There may be a strategic reason for doing what they're doing. Sometimes you get pressure from the elected officials, say, we don't want you calling this a serial killer. I could see saying, because it's going to scare people from coming to our community. I mean, it may be something as innocent as that, or maybe strategically they may think that by calling him a serial killer, it's going to lessen our chances of capturing him, or it might spur him on to do it again. So I could see a number of reasons why they may put out that message for one strategic reason or another. But from what I read of what you sent me, you're clearly dealing with a serial killer out there.
So you are saying, based on what you have read, on what we have sent to you, that you believe there's a serial killer on the loose out there.
Yes, yes. Based on my experience. And again, I don't know how I would approach it, if I would approach it the way they're doing it or not. That's, more of a psychologist thing. If we call him a serial killer, how's he going to react to that? Is he going to amp up his game? Is he going to back off? What's he going to do? And again, that may be, sometimes the police, I notice there's very little information put out on most of those, which is usually what the police do, because if someone comes in and says, hey, I'm the guy you're looking for, he's not just going to parrot what he read in the paper or from a broadcast somewhere. They want to get the details from him. Or if a witness comes forward and says, Angelette told me she did it, and this is how she did it. If it's information that's never been put out there, then maybe she did give that person this information. So there's a lot of reason to be closed mouthed when you're in law enforcement, when you're dealing with something like this.
So what should the next steps be in your opinion by law enforcement? The public, obviously, if there is this suspicion, they need to be aware. People need to be on guard.
If this was happening in Cincinnati, we'd be at the homicide squad. We'd have a big map on the wall of the area where these murders took place. We'd be putting down, there'd be pictures up there of uh, where the person was last seen, where they were found. You try to make a connection there and just try to put all these things together and try to find from all those, eventually people are going to notice similarities. Maybe it's every one of these happened by McDonald's, let's just say. Every one of these women was within a quarter miles of McDonald's and walking when they disappeared. Well, maybe that's something you want to focus on. But when you put them all together, it may just be a coincidence, but eventually you're going to find similarities between these cases, which will help you predict who you're looking for.
Sorry, it takes a minute for me to get to the unmute part. But yeah, if you want, I can wait to finish this video, but I do have where it says 3 of the 6 women found dead in Oregon, Washington share potential connections. And then it says at least 3 of the 6. If you want, I can wait to read this. And then I have a video on the connections as well. I just want to pause it for a second. And then I don't know if anyone has any questions in chat or anything, but let me read some of the comments. So Carly, that's crazy that you're there. And Amber, oh my God, I can't believe the news is saying that Portland tourism is on the rise, that they're just trying to bury this right now. And I've heard that the news, and I always pause it. I told Melissa this. I always pause it at like the worst spots. Always.
Yeah, their faces are always funny.
I don't flatter them. It's not on purpose. Sorry, people. I'm not trying to make them look bad. But yes, Nora's grandma, I'm so happy that you're here.
Yes, I am too.
Are you familiar with this case, Nora's grandma?
She's so sweet.
We've only
Everybody
been,
in here.
yes,
Sparkly Unicorn.
oh, Sparkly Unicorn is here.
Yes,
Yay. We've only been live for about like
35 minutes.
35 minutes. Yeah, we still have a lot more to go over. Let me see what other comments there are. Oh, it's all new to you, Avery. Okay, interesting. Well, good.
Wow. That one shocks me, actually.
I know,
Avery's
right?
usually, yeah.
Talking on mute again. Okay, let me finish this
no.
video.
That's the way we would approach it here.
Let's say this is a serial killer. I would assume, hopefully, there would be some forensic evidence on these women, depending on the level of decomposition to their bodies, that could help maybe provide a link. I mean, we have cell phone data these days. There have been a lot of advancements.
Yeah, you can do geofencing, which is a relatively new thing where you can track movements of cell phones. And if you get a suspect cell phone, it's really helpful. The whole idea of DNA and the CODIS data bank is something that, when I started prosecuting, DNA wasn't even a Jules Verne fiction kind of thing yet. No one would ever even thought of something like that. But and now most states are in the CODIS data bank, which anybody that's going to prison is going to have a DNA sample taken and put in that data bank. And that's been going on for maybe at least a decade, I would think. So if you can recover any kind of bodily fluids from any of these victims that is not theirs and run a CODIS hit on something like that, then you're almost home free. That's one of the greatest advancements we have. But the other thing is there's cameras everywhere anymore. And I would think they're looking at where these women, again, what their path was or their normal path before they disappeared. And so there might be a blue Chevy pickup truck that's seen in a couple of these areas when these women disappeared. So those are the kind of things I think that the police were looking for. I would say DNA and then cameras out on the street or ring doorbells, things like that are two of the most recent advances that really help solve cases.
Well, Mark Pietmeyer, thank you so much for coming on to talk with us and offering your time and your expertise. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Glad to help.
And that's it for this edition of Law and Crime Sidebar Podcast.
Yeah, that was good. But I mean, what's, oh, hold on just a second. I gotta find the name. Is it, what's her name? It just went out of my head. The girl
Hey,
here in
Lex
the chat.
Luthor.
Carly.
Yes.
Carly, don't be going any place and risking anything. It's not worth it. Just be careful.
I'm not on mute, Misfit. I'm letting Lady V speak. Hi, Lex Luthor.
Hello.
Happy that you're here. But so I'm thinking how he said, I think he said in this video, it might have been another video that someone familiar with the place. Like, I really think it's someone that lives in the area and that it's probably a family man. I was going to say someone in their 40s, maybe, but I'll maybe just expand that to 35 to 50, but I really think it's someone in their 40s. Like, I don't like, I don't know if I should put race on this or not, probably not, but what SKs usually are in the past, I'm going to probably say a white male and family guy. And I looked at this fact. Okay, so this is an interesting fact. You can let me know if this is wrong or not, Amber, about houses in Oregon. The one that my family had in Bend that I was only there when I was young, it did not have a basement, but apparently houses that were before 1940 did have basements, and ones that were built after 1940 do not have basements. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can pull that information up. So I'm curious. I don't think he's killing them at those locations. So I'm thinking it's either in a car or he's bringing them back to the house, maybe bringing them into a basement, possibly if it's a house built before 1940 and keeping them for a little while, maybe. I don't know. And the family, if he has a wife and kids, doesn't even know about this and can be having them prisoner under the house.
Right. Yeah. That's a good thought. I think it is.
I
I
looked
think
that
it is
up.
some. Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'll show that information right now about houses in Portland, about if they have basements or not. And it said ones that are 1940 or earlier that they do, and 1940 or later that they don't. So I don't know if that's totally true, but hi, Pirate Radio. And Lolo, hello. So Mark says singles 30s white. Are you talking about you or the killer? I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Had to put a little humor in this. I know there's no joking in here. I tried to make a little bit of lightheartedness, and I'm also on like no sleep right now.
Oh.
I know.
See, I told you if you went live, they would come. And you're on mute.
Would it just a little wet, Misfit? Just a little wet, just a little no sleep, or just a little dark humor? Now I'm thinking of Silence of the Lambs, Edward said.
Oh no, probably my butterflies. I keep putting butterflies in the chat.
You do? I'm not even seeing them. Maybe because I'm looking at the on StreamYards.
Yeah, I always put a lot of butterflies and hearts and flowers. They're probably like, no moths, no moths.
And Austin's laughing at me. Okay, so I wanted to sleep deprivation is always fun. Yes, I'm pretty delirious today, so hopefully it doesn't show too much in this live. We'll see.
You're
Misfit
doing
said
great,
both.
hon.
Thank you. Okay, so if we want to hear from the sister, or we'll hear from this first. Let me share this page. Hold on. Hold please. Okay, so can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so 3 of 6 women found dead in Oregon, Washington may share potential connections. At least 3 of the 6 women whose bodies have been found in Oregon and Washington in recent months share similar circumstances and had frequented the same place in months before their deaths. In particular, investigators are examining potential connections among Joanna Sparks, 32, Charity Lynn Perry, 24, and Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster, 31, who had all known to frequent Southeast 82nd Avenue and an area near the Clackamas Town Center. Sorry if I said that wrong, said the source. They didn't say that, I did. Who is not authorized to speak on behalf of any of the half dozen police agencies investigating the case. And do we know if the FBI is involved yet? Because I haven't read that yet, but usually when it's an SK, the FBI does get involved. So Amber, do you know if the FBI is involved yet? Because I haven't seen that yet, or are they keeping that hidden? The source discounted a statement issued Sunday by Portland police that said the Bureau had no reason to believe these 6 cases are connected. Again, I think they're just saying that not to tip off the killer or freak out people. Again, but would they rather have 6 random killers in the area, or I mean, both are pretty
They
bad.
both are bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you give just a quick rundown? Lolo and Avery don't really know anything about this, and we've had a lot of people come in. Just basically, we're looking at 6 girls in Portland, Oregon area that have gone missing that are very similar, and they're thinking it might be an SK. That
Yeah.
boils it
Yes.
down.
So I have multiple videos. Let me play another one of the videos explaining it, or what we can get to. Should I play the Nancy Grace video?
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay. I don't know if you guys have already seen it. I'm sorry if you hate Nancy Grace. I'm sorry about that too. I know a lot of people don't like her.
It's
So,
just at least it's not Ashley Blandfield.
oh, I have a clip with, I'm looking at Ashley right now because she talks to the Golden State Killer Sleuth on Portland
Yeah.
Death. So
Necessary evil, that one.
I do have a clip of Ashley and a clip with Nancy. The Nancy one's a little bit longer. So, but here, let me show this real quick before I show the video of Nancy.
Okay.
1 moment. If I can find it, where'd it go?
I've always liked Nancy. She's just like, she don't take any crap from anybody, man.
I know. So Joanna Speaks is found dead inside a barn in Ridgefield, Washington on April 8th. The cause of her death, and this is the only one that they are at least releasing the cause of the death, was blunt head and neck injury. I heard blunt force trauma. Here it says blunt head and neck injury.
Where
Here,
did you get this one? I haven't seen this one.
okay. And it says in less than 3 months. So, and there's so many more missing women. I'm going to show all the pictures of the missing women as well. And unidentified, and it showed one of the missing women, I think may fit her because she has the scars. A lot of the things fit her. And she's similar in age. So I'm going to show her a picture as well. Unidentified Native American or Alaskan woman found dead on side of road less than 3 miles from where Smith was found. Ashley Reel, 22, was found on May 7th, month after vanishing from a fast food restaurant. So that's interesting what he said. Like, did they all go to a certain fast food restaurant or something like that? Charity Lynn Perry, 24, was found dead in a culvert on April 24th. On February 9th, Kristen Smith, 22, is found in a woods in Pleasant Valley. Her body was identified on May 25th. Bridget Leanne Ramsey Webster, 31, is found April 30th. Police say her death is suspicious, but have not released details. So police are being very hush-hush. Wouldn't you agree, Lady V?
Yeah, they're wanting to keep this quiet.
I think they know a lot more than they're saying.
Oh, yeah, I think so too. I don't know if FBI is involved yet or not.
All in the last 3 months, Avery.
Yeah, starting from February to May.
So Amber said, hold on, my computer, we call it houseless in Portland. Oh, did I end up saying homeless? I'm so sorry. I know it's houseless. And then again, lack of sleep. We call it
Oh,
houseless
I
in
think she was
Portland.
talking to Lex, hon.
Oh, okay. Yes. So in Oregon, okay, I'll just read her comment. We call it houseless in Portland because although they may not have a house, they have a home they have made for themselves. Home is where the heart is. Oh, I love that.
That's a very good way to explain it.
Yeah, that is a great way to explain it. Yes, Avery, can you believe that?
And we only have one COD on one of them.
Yes. So it'll be very interesting. Oh, thank you, Princess. It'll be very interesting to know if they're all the same, or again, if he ends up changing his ammo to make it look like it's not the same killer, because he could change it up. You never know.
Yeah,
But
they
okay,
have.
yeah. So let me get to Nancy Grace, and I'm sorry if anyone in here hates her. She is entertaining, I guess, right? Kind of.
Oh, I love Nancy Grace.
Yeah, I watched her through different trials. Lady V, you have the floor while I get the video.
Okay. Well, so far, we don't really know much about it. I think they're trying to keep it all under wraps. I kind of agree with everything Valerie said from what I was looking into today. It's really hard to get a lot of information on this case. It's just kind of repeated over and over. And, but I had not seen where they were yet today. That's what I was looking for. I never ran into it. So I hope that helps you all out. And I'm not at my keyboard right this second. So if I don't answer your comment, please forgive me. Yeah, Valerie's been working hard on this. She does such a wonderful job. She won't let me help her. I'm like, tell me what to do. But she's awesome.
Helping me by being up here. That's all I want, is someone to be up here with me. You know, I love researching cases.
I know, and you do great. You do really great.
Thank you. I know. Oh, Amethyst Pisces. Hello, hello. Good to see you. I love your name, by the way. That's a really pretty name.
It is.
Yes. So Lolo said all 6 women look similar, long brownish, dark hair, all under 40, a lot of them in their 20s. So again, this is giving like Ted Bundy vibes. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very interesting.
It is very interesting. And they all kind of resemble each other as well.
They really do. And then I'm going to show all the missing women as well. So here, I have Nancy Grace up. So
I don't see it yet. Oh, there we go.
The Portland area. So far, 6 bodies of women have been found. The MO and the COD, cause of death, is being kept close to the vest. We know one victim died of blunt force trauma to the head, and marks were found on the neck. The rest is being kept super secret. Why? But so far, 6 women have turned up, their bodies found within a period of months, within 100 miles of each other. I counted up the jurisdictions involved, and there are 6 jurisdictions involved. That would be Portland PD, Multnomah County, Oregon State Police, Polk County, Clark County, and Clackamas County. I guess that's 6 law enforcement agencies involved. So far, the victims have been named as Kristen Smith, Ashley Reel, Joanna Speaks, Bridget Webster, Charity Perry, and one unidentified female believed to be either white or American Indian or from the Alaska area. Now, what does this mean? 6 women found within 100 miles of each other. Their bodies found for the most part in rural or heavily wooded areas without a lot of details, such as the MO, the modus operandi, the causes of death. Were the bodies clothed, unclothed, semi-clothed? Were the victims raped? Were they bound? Were they face down? Had their bodies been altered in any way? We know that the women are largely white brunettes. We believe between the ages of 22 and early 40s. Joining me is a man that may have some answers. Chris McDonough is joining us, director of the Cold Case Foundation, former homicide detective,
Of course,
has
it's Chris
investigated over
McDonough.
300 cases,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hosts the Interview Room on the YouTube channel. Chris, thank you for being with us. What do you make of it so far?
Thank you, Nancy. So I think what we've got going on here initially from a law enforcement investigator perspective, you want to identify the oldest victim in relationship to the one that was most recently found, and then the first victim, and then get those two agencies together and see what kind of correlating information can be gained from discussions with those two agencies. And what I mean by that is you want to establish patterns of those victims and then see if there's anything in between that with the other agencies that would correlate to both the first and the last victim patterns of behavior. So from that,
Well, let
you
me
can
understand what
gain
you're saying. You're saying that you start by taking the first and the last and a known chain. There could be another body that's found, that will be found that predates the,
I love
as of
that
right
too,
now, first
Austin.
victim, or another body could be found post-dating the last known victim. Why do you look at the first and the last victim? What is the significance as opposed to looking at all of them?
Well, what you want to establish right away is if you can identify a contact site, in meaning a geographic region where these two victims, using the first and the last as the example, may have had a correlation to a geographic region. And then from there, you're able to figure out potentially, okay, what is the draw to the suspect to this particular area where these two victims may
So
have
when
a
you
correlation.
say point of contact, you mean a location point? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, a geographic region, right? I mean, if we look at these 6 women, you know, you've got a main freeway there, the 205 and the 5, the Interstate 5 in that area. It's about 100 square miles. So if you have the very first victim ever found at a certain location, and if you can somewhat put the last victim into that geographic location, well, then that shows that the suspect is comfortable in that region. And so immediately you know that this could potentially be his hunting area.
You're muted. Hello.
There's 2 spots I need to unmute here. I need to unmute on the computer, and then I need to unmute on the mic, and I just keep unmuting on the mic and not the computer. But
Well, it's been a
Okay.
while, hun. You'll get back to it and it'll come back to you real quick. You know, that one girl, she kind of looks more more like she's from Alaska to me, um, as far as being native. Does she to you?
I mean, like the sketch, I mean, she could be
Yeah.
either or. I mean, there is a picture though in the missing group that may be her because she does have the scar that's
Oh,
matching that I do want to show. And I don't know, I'll let you I'm curious what people in the chat think.
yeah.
But so the reason I paused it, that's not too bad of a oh no, he's not actually talking. That's him, his pause face. I mean, that's
Yeah.
actually him there. Yeah. But he was saying how there he's familiar there. That's why I was saying I think he might actually live in the Oregon area or the Portland area, and he may be like a family man or something like that. I know he
Very
could
could
be a
be.
trucker possibly, but I think he actually lives there, which is a really scary thought.
Yeah, and 100 miles isn't really that far. I mean, I know people that like live in cities and stuff is like, oh my gosh, 20 minutes to work. That's horrible. But people like me, 100 miles is nothing. You know, if you're used to driving around and just driving, 100 miles isn't that far to go.
Yeah, it's
It
not
just
that far.
amazes it just amazes me that they found them so quickly because weren't they out in the forest and stuff? Is
In
that where
wooded
they were?
areas,
Yeah, what
yeah.
area?
And one was in a barn, I believe.
Wow. Because that's thick up there. That's really thick vegetation to go through.
area for the other 4 victims as well.
Right now, authorities are saying they do not believe the cases are connected, but we also know the theory that they are is gaining momentum. What do you think about that, Chris McDonough?
Well, this case almost immediately reminds me of Ronald Porter. Do you remember him?
Oh,
Nancy,
yes.
from 85 to 88. So at that time, believe it or not, I was a vice detective. I didn't go into homicide till 89. That said, I was in vice, and we were hearing from the girls on the street that there was some craziness going on. And so Porter was working in a little silver car, driving around and picking up transients, as well as prostitutes and just hitchhikers. And over time, there was a task force that was put together quickly, and it was called the San Diego Homicide Task Force, where the vice guys, and I happened to be one of them at the time, were sent out onto the streets to kind of figure out what the temperature on the street was and what the girls were saying. Well, I can see the investigation quickly with these 5 agencies. There has to be a liaison between all 5 agencies talking to one another. And before they establish if this is going to be something that they're going to be able to connect through DNA or through, other scientific means, before they throw those resources in that direction with a potential single individual versus, various individuals, they want to establish a direct link to each of these victims somehow. DNA is the obvious, the most obvious
Exactly.
answer to that.
That's what they need. They need DNA. And I find it very
Yeah.
difficult to believe that these women were not raped or sodomized or attacked in some way where we're not going to get DNA. That's going to be the way to do it.
Yeah, 1,000%. I agree with you. And then the next, obviously, is what is the manner of death, right? Is it blunt force trauma? Is it strangulation? Is it a combination of, weapons or et cetera? With the Porter case, the question was, had he changed his victimology, because there were children also at that time that started to come up missing in the San Diego area. So there was a lot of dynamics going on behind the scenes, and I would think at this point, the reason they're taking their time and coming out and saying there may or may not be connections is because those dynamics are starting to be figured out even by the agencies involved at this point.
What does that mean? That was a word salad. What do you mean by that? Do you mean,
That sounded
and I
rude.
have 6 agencies, although it keeps being reported as 5. I've got Portland PD, Multnomah County, Oregon State Police, Polk County, Clark County, and Clackamas County. That's 6. Okay. But whatever, when you have that many
Whatever.
agencies getting together, what do you think they're doing?
Well, what they're and it could be 7 too, by the way. It could be Bureau of Indian Affairs if
Yes.
the other victim is a Native American. Well, what they're doing right now is they're trying to figure out jurisdictional, guidelines, right? And they're trying to establish, okay, well, we've got one, and they have to figure out who's going to take the point on this. And that usually typically goes back to the first body. And so it could be that first agency. And if they don't have the resources, then they have to establish a task force. And when that task force is established, then each agency assigns a detective to that task force, and the funding comes from that individual agency to make sure that detective can function properly on that task force.
Let's talk about the similarities, because that's one
Okay.
way to determine if these murders are connected. We know they're murders because of where they were found. One was found in a gutter. Many are found in rural or heavily wooded areas, forest land, nowhere near where they live. 2 of them I tracked were found off one particular area within 3 miles of each other near Flavel Street, Flavel. One off I-205 near Flavel, and the other near an intersection near Flavel. So that would be, and I have them in no real chronological order, but number 6, I'm using the unidentified body. We know to have long dark hair. Oh, that's a similarity I came up with, Chris McDonough. All of these women are white females with long-ish dark hair. One of them is a darker brown ginger color, but still dark. The rest are definite brunettes. We've got Kristen Smith, no COD yet.
She's definitely fierce. I will say that.
She is.
Someone said, who was it? I don't know what it was. I think it was something about her being rude. I don't know, but
Yeah.
I'll be nice with saying fierce.
She's like,
Yeah.
they all have dark hair. I figured out.
Yeah, just and she's like, whatever, and just like other things she's saying, like that was a word salad, and then she cuts people off all the time, like just get to the point. Like it's just, I don't know.
I
But
like
she's like I said,
Nancy.
she's just entertaining though. But okay, I just needed to pause it in certain
I
spots.
think as many times as Chris McDonough has talked to her, you would think he would get tired of it, but he always comes back for more.
Maybe he likes that person. Maybe he has the hots for her.
Maybe, who knows? We might start a new YouTube rumor.
He has the thing for that kind of women, maybe.
Maybe.
All right, let me press play.
Ashley Reel. We have Joanna Speaks, Bridget Webster, Charity Perry, and the unidentified female that we believe is Native American. So, given their disposal bodies, their disposal locations, And that leads me to the conclusion they were not killed in those locations. They were all dumped in forest or rural areas, out of the way places, killed elsewhere. All white females, similar size and build,
Hi, Michael
all
Malloy.
brunette. One is a kind of a reddish brown hair. A lot of similarities found within 100 miles of each other, and all found fairly close together in time. Chris McDonough.
Yeah, so we have March and April seem to be the 2 months, right, Nancy?
Right. That's right.
So, yeah, so taking all those variances,
They've
that
all
you
been
just-
found over a 6-month period.
Okay, and so staying on the path that you're on, and I agree with you 1,000%. We have all of the physical characteristics that could be,
Have you ever looked at
extremely
Bundy's victims? His murder victims?
Well, yeah, and
Very startlingly similar in physical appearance.
I'm gonna pull them up too.
yes, 100%. And what nailed him, right? The Volkswagen.
Yeah.
So down at the lake with the two gals.
Sorry to keep pausing it, but that's what I had meant. Oh, I didn't pause it bad for her at all. But that's what I was saying, that I wonder if, like, because I think just disposing them at that spot. So I think he's either possibly unaliving them in his car, or if he has like a basement at his house, or just taking them somewhere else and then dumping them at those spots.
Right.
And I think
Why
that
do you-
oh, go
why do
on.
you- I'm sorry. Why do you think basement? Why not just at their house?
Because I think that he's a family man.
Okay.
I don't know why. Like, you know how Ted Bundy had a girl, like he had
Yeah.
that,
Right.
yeah, and a lot of I just for some reason
A lot
think,
of them do.
yeah. So, and his wife probably. I mean, I'm just thinking of this narrative in my head. I don't know, but let me just press play. That's my. This is again. I don't want to put out any rumors. This is just what I'm thinking. Maybe, but it could again. He might just. It might be in. Hope it might just be in his car, and then there'd be all the evidence in his car.
Right.
So we'll see.
And so now in this case, what I think the authorities are probably going to be pressing for pretty quickly is there, obviously it sounds like there's a vehicle involved. It sounds like there's various dump sites. And so they're going to be looking for some type of video management systems, i.e., any film from locations that we just talked about earlier. About
When you say
Kohlberg.
vehicle, you're so right about Bundy. The Volkswagen had a plethora of evidence inside. Then I think I just heard you say Koberger, the white Elantra. I mean, that was the key to the case, really.
Yes, exactly. And so now we have this guy. Do we know if this is where he's killing the girls in the car? Maybe that's a crime scene of itself potentially. So that vehicle that he's using to transport these women, wherever they got in that vehicle, that would be what we would call a contact site, as you know. And so as a result of that, then you want to establish any kind of type of electronics around that particular contact site, video management systems, traffic cameras. Those are the types of things you want to start looking for. And this is why it's important to start with the first victim and kind of get down into the nitty gritty in terms of really understanding her life through what.
I'm curious about last seen. I'm curious about where the circumstances surrounding when they were last seen. Now, one victim, let me find her, was last seen at it's actually real, last seen at a fast food, kind of a transportation stop in Portland. I find that really interesting. She was found in woods near Eagle Creek. Now, that's the one in Clackamas County. Were the others at food or gas stations, restaurants or gas stations, before they went missing. I'm very curious where they were, and that leads me to the MO of the killer. If there is, in fact, one person responsible for these, the fact that they're all found within 6 months, they're all white females, brunette-ish. They're all between 25 and 40 years old. That's pretty similar, and within 100 miles of a 100-mile radius, and disposed of in the same manner each time. What I really want to hear is cause of death and the last scene, last known location where they were seen. What about it, Chris?
Can
I
you
agree
pause
with
it
you.
there?
And where it becomes so critical.
Did you hear Amber talking today on Melissa's channel about the
No,
transportation area?
no, I didn't.
Yes. Okay, she was saying it's not like a truck stop or anything. Amber, you might.
Are you on mute, Lady V? Roger that, Lady V. I can't hear Lady V.
Transit system. Yes. What?
Oh, I couldn't hear you. I don't know if the chat could, but I couldn't.
Okay. I was just saying that Amber can explain it in chat way better than I can, but it's not a truck stop. It's like a transit system, if I understood her correctly, that goes through the town. I would pin it up here whenever she explains it, because I only caught part of it because I was like on and off all day long today. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm just talking on mute. I need my sticky note back. I'm okay. I haven't done this much lately, so I need to get back into the swing of things. But let me read Sparkly Unicorn's comment. But while we wait for Amber's comment. So she said, it's so scary to think of serial killers being active right now. We always hear about them after the fact, and it feels like something in the past. And that's true. So there was one caught in California recently, a younger guy, and another turned themselves in Texas. We spoke about that in the live recently. So there's seems to be more active right now ones going on, but not like the 70s to the 90s, because that was before the forensics and all of that. But like then there was so much more, but there still is. How many does it like usually say? There's over 100 serial killers. I looked before this. I could ask Google right now, but I know there's all these like hundreds of serial
Hang on a
killers
second.
active. Are you gonna look it up? Waiting for you, Amber.
There are currently over 300 active serial killers in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over 3. I knew it was in the hundreds. So
Yeah, I did too. I said that someplace else. I think it was Big Al's like, no, it was like 25. I'm like, I thought it was like back then when I looked at it, was like 250.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But I think, did I say that correctly, Amber, that it's like a transit system that goes through the town? I know it's not a truck stop or something like we're thinking. So it's not like there's a trucker waiting for them, from what I gather from it.
She said it's a max stop. It's like a train station, to be honest. We have locally.
Yeah. So like a transit area through town. Are you talking?
Is if in fact it is a transport station, i.e. with a restaurant attached to it, like a bus station or something to that effect.
Or like a truck stop.
Okay. Then
A
there's
rest
going to
stop.
be video.
Where there's
He's like, okay.
a restaurant or a diner, or a lot of rest stops or truck stops have vending machines.
I feel like she's always
or
yelling.
short order
at
counter, something like
Yeah.
that. That's what I'm
He's like,
thinking
okay,
of
I'm not
when they call
arguing.
it a transit stop. And we really only know the COD, blunt force trauma, on one victim, Joanna Speaks.
Well, let's hope that there is some video.
Yes,
of some
Avery, just
sort,
one.
at those rest stops. If they're run by the state, there's a high probability there is. And that will definitely be a huge, huge lead. And then simultaneously, the other stuff coming in, i.e. the DNA, if there was DNA found at the victims, on the victims at the autopsies, and any other information.
That reminds me, Chris, I know at least one of the victims still had on her jewelry. So obviously was not a robbery of any sort, which leads me to a sex motive, which leads me to possibility of DNA, as you first mentioned. The fact that she still had on her jewelry tells me this was not someone just trying to rip the person off, take their cash and credit cards and bonk them in the head. It's not like that at all, Chris McDonough.
Yeah, so let's go back to Porter for a second on your thought process there. When the one victim that actually connected him to all the other cases, they took larva, and the larva was able to establish a really narrow time frame.
I feel like she's going to yell at him.
And hopefully, in a case like this, they may have that type of evidence.
You know what, McDonough? You're going to warp speed 4.
I called
you gotta
it.
Explain when you say larva, you're talking about a very highly defined niche in homicide detection, and that is the study of entomology, bugs as it relates to homicide. It's forensic entomology. Please explain what you meant. It's really fascinating, disgusting and fascinating at the same time.
I love being on your show, Nancy. Always. Thank you so much, because you keep me focused. I appreciate that, because I get zoned into this, my experience level. So long story short, the larva in of itself will be able to establish a potential time of death because of the life cycle of the larva. And an entomologist, to your point, will be able to come in and say, this is the life cycle. So it will be able to help the investigator establish, okay, if this is the time frame when this started and the larva went through this cycle, then we're able to establish a date potential to where this victim was alive and at a location. And they're able to work back to try to find that location, which we, again, called the contact site. And that means there's a high probability you may also be able to find the suspect in that same geographic region where the victim was. And that's what they're looking for, I would submit.
So there, it's a matter of calling on a forensic entomologist to describe the exact progression or age. It's very often blowflies, which are found on human remains. And if they've been there, say, 6 hours, as opposed to 1 day or 2 days, you may be able to determine how long the victim has been deceased. It's a very precise science. I'm curious about the physical characteristics of these women, because I've noticed that predators often look for the same type of victim. And I think that can bind cases together in a series. But of course, what we're really going to need is DNA. But that said, also serial killers are also often categorized or connected by the MO, which is not entirely necessary, because we saw Ted Bundy start with luring people into, well, he started with breaking and entering. Then he went to luring people into his vehicle, the one you described, the VW. And
He
then he
started
went
with
back
peeping
to
Tom.
breaking and entering at the end of his infamous.
Sunday started being a peeping Tom.
That's another one of the killers in Oregon. He started out being a peeping Tom as well, that I'm going to get into after this. I want to go through all the different, what is it, Randall Woodfield? I'm not sure. Was it that one that was? Yes, it was the I-5 Bandit. That's how I believe he started. Yes, he started exposing himself, but I'll wait to get to that list. Let me finish this one. But that's how sometimes they start. Look at her
Yeah.
face. She's like, oh my goodness. But okay, let me press play.
Career in murder. So MOs can and do change. So you can look at the MO to connect cases together. Also, a really fascinating aspect is the staging. For instance, in BTK, Bind, Torture, Kill Dennis Rader, he liked to redress his victims after raping and murdering them, redress them and take pictures of them. So that's where he derived satisfaction from that, where some killers get satisfaction from the actual act of asphyxiation. So you can look at the bodies and determine similarities in the way they were killed or how the scene was staged. And in this case, disposal. That is staging. Would you agree?
Yes. And the physical characteristics, if we look at, the victims, Ashley, Bridget, Joanne, Kristen, and Charity, and then if we look at just
and the
their
unidentified
pictures,
woman we think is a Native American with long black hair.
yes. I mean, they do have similar characteristics, which could be, playing into this individual's fantasy, if it's a sexually motivated crime, which there's a high probability, and you know more than anybody, you've been in the courtroom so many years, that when these individuals get to the place where they're going to take a life, there's a whole buildup.
So you mean
to
prior
that.
rapes or prior sex attacks or even peeping Toms?
Absolutely. The voyeuristic aspect of this, the preparation aspect of this is all part of the sexual fantasy. Then eventually that plays itself out into the homicide. And by the way, it would be interesting to see if there's a progression in relationship to from victim 1 through victim 6. That would also be very important to know, because that means the fantasy is changing as well as evolving, like Dennis Rader. I mean, but remember, he would draw out all of his stuff, and yet it was months in advance where he would adapt that fantasy, and then he would play it out himself, and then in hopes that it would work out the same way with his victims. And it's never that way, but right, that more than anybody. It just,
No, I'm
these guys are
awake.
just
I don't
so
know what
sick
that is.
that they think it's going to end up, being better than what they had anticipated, and it never does. It never ends up that way.
I find it really hard to believe, although authorities are saying there's no connection, that 2 dead women are found less than 3 miles apart. Now, I'm talking about Kristen Smith and the unidentified, we believe to be Native American woman. They're found 3 miles apart, less than 3 miles apart. Now, Kristen had been missing since December 2022, but that doesn't mean a lot to me. That's only Jan, Feb, March, April, May, June, 6 months. She hasn't been missing that long. So you've got 2 women found within less than 3 miles apart. Yet they're saying that's not connected.
Well, that's very significant. It is very significant, because if they do find similarities in terms of physical evidence and or manner of death, you have to take a hard look at that. And this is what, experts can come in on a geographical profiling aspect of it, because this tells us that this is an area that is very comfortable to the suspect. This individual is comfortable in that geographic region to return and put a second body there if they are connected. Because, Nancy, I mean, how many times have we learned that, these serial killers, they come back to their victims to relive the fantasy?
Like Bundy. Bundy did so often.
Yeah, and he went back even.
Yeah, Ted Bundy did that to, I don't even again know how I can even say that for
Gary
necro.
Ridgway. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now I paused here. I'm not that great. She looked like she's smelling not smelling the roses. They don't smell that good. But yeah, so that's what Bundy went back for. But I don't think he's
Gary
going.
Ridgway did too.
Oh yeah. So I don't.
River.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. Hopefully he's not doing that.
Yeah.
As sick as he was for necrophilia, to relive it one more time.
So what
with
do you
the-
make of the announcement that they're not connected?
Well, I think that's a cautionary statement right now by the agencies. It is possible that they could be, they're leaning that way, evident of the fact that 3 of the agencies are all talking to one another. It is possible as well that the other 3 aren't connected. So I think they're going to err on the side of caution right now.
Okay, Chris McDonough, we wait as this case unfolds.
Okay, so what did you think of that, Lady V, and everybody in chats? Thank you for staying for the Nancy Grace. I know she's not for everybody, but yeah, what do you think of that? Are you on mute, Lady V?
I am. Okay. So she's always good at laying the facts out, And Amber says she doesn't believe Native American is involved in the case.
I hope not.
She was found in a tent. She thinks she's separate. Well, that could be. I mean, we still need to find out who she is, poor thing. But yeah, Nancy's always really good about laying it out.
Thank you, Princess. There is still some more to go over, and I want to play an interview with the family. And also show all the other missing women in the area too. So I don't know if I should get to that right now, or if there's more that you wanted to go over, Lady V.
No, I'm good, honey. Whichever direction you want to go, I'm here for
Okay.
you.
All right, let me get to the other stuff right now. One moment. Hold, please. Lady V, entertain. You can start
yes.
singing.
I'm sorry. I was reading your chat, guys. So what do you guys think about what Nancy said? Did you guys agree with it, or what are your reactions to that?
Oh, wait, here, I'm going to show this video about how some women found dead in Oregon visited the same places. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this video. Oh, did you see this?
I saw that 3 of them did. Yeah.
Okay. And let me see. Bless you.
I'm sorry.
Don't apologize for sneezing.
Oh, I choked actually.
Oh, well, don't apologize for choking.
I have a health thingy that I'll get choked on anything. I'll get choked on air.
So I wanted to show this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay,
Hold
so
on. Hold on.
sister of murdered Portland woman says cops are trying to keep the public from being freaked out about SK after
Hang on.
6 female.
Okay. We have a lag on from StreamYard to the TV and my iPad here, so I can see you now.
Okay, so sister of murdered Portland woman says cops are trying to keep the public from being freaked out about a SK after 6 female bodies are found within 100 miles of each other in span or whatever of 3 months. Joanna Speaks, 32, the only victim to have officially ruled a homicide. 5 other women were discovered deceased in suspicious circumstances between February 19th and May 7th. 3 police forces. So this is 3. The other said 6, and then Chris McDonough said he believed it was 7. So I'm not sure. 3 to 7, we'll say. The sister of a woman found dead in Portland has warned that the numbers are rising after 6 bodies were discovered in 3 months. Joanna Speaks was found in a rural Oregon within 100 miles of the other 5 women who were discovered dead in suspicious circumstances, sparking fears of a SK. She is the one to have been officially ruled a homicide, with a medical examiner saying she had signs of blunt force trauma. Her sister, Robin, told News Nation's Banfield that authorities have been very helpful in her sister's case, but raised fears that women are dying. I think the police are trying to make sure that they keep the public from being too freaked out about a SK. Either way, women are dying and the numbers are rising. There's too many pop-ups on here. Let me see. So here, let's watch the video.
If you are type 2 and take metformin, well, check your feet and legs for these 2 things that I'm going to show you in this.
So Joanna Speaks was the second body that was found on April 8th, and I'm joined now by her sister, Robin Speaks. Robin, I'm so sorry that we're speaking under these circumstances, and my condolences to you and to your family.
Ashley,
It's got to be
you love.
a heartbreaking time for you, while at the same time very confounding. Are the police being better with you in terms of sharing information? Like, do you know more than, say, the media is getting?
I mean, the police are being very helpful for us or with us on my sister's case. I don't know that it's anything different than the media is getting, but I do know that we are the only family with, a cause of death for our sister. The other families don't have that yet, unfortunately. So we do.
Do you feel as though the authorities are taking seriously the possibility of a serial killer targeting your sister and the others?
I honestly don't know how serious things are being taken as far as that goes. I do think the police are working their individual cases seriously. And I think that they are trying to make sure that, they keep the public from being too freaked out about a serial killer. But either way, women are dying, and now, the numbers are just rising.
Sometimes, Robin, families who are involved in situations like this, they launch sort of a parallel effort, either with private investigators or sort of a group think tank, just to try to, find out their own information and feed law enforcement, who may be understaffed or may not necessarily believe these are connected. Have you and your family mounted any kind of an effort like that, or do you feel as though you have what you need from the police?
Oh, we've absolutely done that this entire time. We have spoken to everybody we can. We've got, boots on the ground and made flyers. We are speaking with or reaching out to the families of the other women. We've gotten a lot of tips from the community just by talking to the news outlets and stuff. And we've been feeding everything that we get to the detectives so that nothing goes, unseen or unheard as far as any of that kind of information goes.
Tell me a little bit about your sister, Joanna, and when you're thinking about those details, anything that might lead to some kind of a clue as to why she might have been targeted, where she might have been targeted, and how she might have been targeted.
Well, she was fun and excited about life and she was just a great person to be around. In recent years, she was struggling with addiction and homelessness, and that's a very vulnerable demographic in general. And I think that that may play a part in, you know, why things happen the way that they did.
Do you think any of the others share some of the same attributes? Have police let on that that might be something that they're seeing as well in terms of pattern?
The police have not said anything, well, to us necessarily about that. We do know that some of the other girls do also, you know, have that kind of demographic, and they're also there with that. So
Right. And as you
there's
said,
that connect.
Robin, that's a vulnerable, right? That's a vulnerable population that can often be targeted. What would you like people to remember about your sister?
That she was fun, that she was a beautiful person inside and out. She wanted to make everybody laugh, and she really, really just loved hard.
Robin Speaks, Joanna's sister. Thank you so much, and keep us posted, Robin. We really do want to follow this case and see, you know, where the police end up on this. We appreciate you being on tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation.
Happy that there is family speaking.
Yes.
So
Somebody
I
needs
do
to be the voice of these girls. Absolutely. Now, if I
yeah.
remember what Amber said also, she said that like in her area, as far as law enforcement, there's like 5 guys in her whole area. So they're having problems in Portland getting people to become law enforcement. So they're spread very thinly.
Wow, I wonder. Well, I know that like all over they're having trouble with people
Yeah.
becoming police. I wonder if it's even more difficult though in Portland.
Well, it might be because they had the, that defund thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that I thought that that's been going like and I think we had that here in California too.
Maybe so. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard. I think she said, I mean, they're like ready to ask people right out of high school and they still don't get them. I mean, if I'm paraphrasing Amber correctly, I don't want to misstate something she said, but I thought it was important to note that, they are spread very thin.
Yeah, I hope they get answers. Shay said it, and I'm repeating it, that I hope they get answers soon. It is terrifying. And Shay put the link for the Facebook link in the group, in the chat, and I pinned it. So hopefully you guys can join it. Amber, I know, is a part of it. So if you want to join that, that would be great. Thank you, Misfit. And I wanted to show also other missing women in the area.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
and go
really
over other Oregon, like Oregon, like I said, has a lot of famous serial killer or
Yes.
SKs. Again, I'm very worried of when I try to reapply, what's going to happen.
Uh-oh. You'll
Okay.
get used to it.
So there's Randall Woodfield. You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay, so he was the I-5 bandit, and he was linked to a string of murders in the not to bring this to something else, but it's showing like Oregon has like been known for having a lot of SKs for some reason. And again, I don't know if it's like what you said with the weather or what. We'll have to look more into Washington too. The I-5 bandit, Randall Woodfield, is linked to a string of murders in the 1980s. Shockingly, he was draft pick for the Green Bay Packers, which is crazy. He was shortly let go by the team. He had a long history of exposing himself to women, but after the disappointment of being fired from his sporting team, his behavior took a disturbing turn. He started to prowl up and down the I-5 looking for women. Most of his victims were in their teens to 20s. Sometimes he would force them to do stuff at knife point. Other times he would, I don't know what I can say on here, so I'm just not gonna, you guys can read it. Eventually, police were able to arrest him. He is currently serving time in Oregon prison, and investigators think he might have killed as many as 44 people. There's Jerry Brudos, Jerry Brudos is known as the shoe fetish killer. He moved his family to Oregon when he was a child, and it was the state where he would commit his most horrific crimes. From a young age, he had a fascination with shoes, stemming from childhood abuse inflicted at his mother's hands. As a teenager, he would stalk local girls, assaulting them and stealing their shoes. However, between 1968 and 1969, this behavior would escalate, making him one of the most disturbing killers in Oregon history. And it says what he would do. Okay, it's too much to say, but he ended up doing, okay, he did crazy stuff. I'm not going to even go into it. There's Dayton Leroy Rogers. He's known as the Moella Forest Killer. Where most of the, do you know where this is, Amber? The Molalla, I'm saying it probably wrong. Forest Killer, the location where the bodies of most of his victims were found. Before his murder spree, he had a long history of violent behavior. When he was 19, he stabbed his 15-year-old girlfriend on their second date. Wow. So I guess he received 4 years in prison for that. Wow. But I guess he was 19. It's not like he was underage. Throughout his ensuing years, he would continue to attack women. He would claim he had mental illness, which would help keep him out of prison. In 1987, he killed Jennifer Lisa Smith, stabbing her 11 times in a parking lot. There's Keith Hunter Jesperson. He's serving time in Oregon as well for murdering a string of women. So he sent okay, so the most fascinating aspect is how he taunted the police. I don't know if this is the smiley face one, because there's the smiley face one as well. Oh, yes. So he was marked the smiley face killer. So he would taunt the police, and he killed over 185 people. The only 6 officially attributed to him, it says.
Yeah. She said it's called multnomah.
Oh, okay. So she's familiar with that. Let me go
And she's
to it.
sleepy, so she can't keep chatting anymore.
Okay, we'll be done soon.
No, I mean she's gone to sleep. It doesn't mean we had to get off. But yeah, Multnomah Falls.
So the girl, he was 19 and she was 15. And let me see what else.
Yeah, that smiley face killer is weird. Now, I think the one with the shoe fetish, I think his mom found him when he was younger and he was wearing her shoes and she like just didn't go.
I heard about that.
Yeah, did not go well.
Wow, he shot his grandmother, her grandchild, before stealing the 5-year-old son. Took the boy to a motel. Oh my goodness. He abducted a 10-year-old boy. Jesus. And then there's Ted Bundy.
Yeah.
And it says no list is complete without he's not just Oregon. That's just one of the places he went to.
Right.
Yes. So, okay, that's one list. Let me get to the other things that I wanted to talk about. Let me see.
Yeah, I've always wondered why up in that area there always seems to be more from there. I know I keep saying that, but I mean, it's just always one thing that made me wonder.
So here's an attorney that said women should be on high alert in the Portland area, which is an obvious, I think. Hold on. I'm not sure if you've seen this yet.
I was just going to say, too, if they're trying to keep this hush hush, that's the worst thing in the world. They need to shout it to the world so these girls know to protect themselves.
Well, they don't want to freak out the public. And I mean, if they say there's an SK on the loose, everyone's going to freak out, and they might, again,
Well,
they
that's true, but they could, I mean, if this
they
goes
could
on
save
and
lives.
yeah, I mean, they need to be aware of their surrounding and all. I'm just hoping that this new cycle with the SKs that we've been seeing, I'm just hoping that because of all the forensic and DNA and all of that stuff we have, it won't be like where 100 women have been hurt, you know?
Yeah, so if you live in the area, please, if you don't already have Mace, please get it. Get a personal alarm at all times. Do the buddy system if you can. Let people know where you are. If you know how to activate the SOS alert on your phone, or hopefully you guys are already doing that if you're in the area. But here, can you see my screen, Lady V?
Yes.
Okay.
I do want to bring in attorney and legal analyst right now, Jonna Spilbor. Jonna, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate it.
It's not Ashley Banfield.
Do you think it's premature for police to say that these deaths are not connected at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got 6 women in a 100-mile radius, which is not a big span, in a 3-month period of time, all under mysterious circumstances, and the Portland police don't think they're related. I understand and appreciate that they don't want the community to get up in arms, but women in that area should be on high alert when we have 6 dead women and no explanation in such a short, small radius.
I mean, your point is well taken. The 6 victims discovered within 100 miles of each other, as you mentioned, not a big area. So if police do not think that those are connected, does that mean that multiple killers may be targeting women in that area?
Yes, it could mean that. And how bizarre. I mean, it lends itself to this probably is the work of one person or a person who's related to another person, which reminds me of, if they're going to start their investigation, we've heard the term genetic genealogy used most recently in the Brian Kohberger case, right, which was another mass murder. The police would be well served to start going down that path to try to find some sort of profile of this killer or killers by using the 23andMe's and all the other genetic genealogy testing sites that people are commonly using today. That's a good first place to start.
With the time we have, I do want to get your take on another story that we're tracking right now. A woman convicted of killing her 4 infant children. She has been pardoned now because of new scientific evidence that found her babies could have died by natural causes, which is what she insisted has happened all along. Her name is Kathleen Folbig, and she was once dubbed Australia's worst female serial killer. Her children died separately over the course of a decade, between 19 days and 19 months old when they died. Should she appeal her convictions? Is it worth the risk for her at this point?
Well, I think it's now a foregone conclusion. I mean, she originally did appeal. Now she's basically been pardoned by the governor there in her town in Australia, because this was bizarre. It's bizarre that she is getting pardoned for this type of crime, but what's more bizarre is that she had 4 babies over the course of 4 years, all died before reaching the age of 2. One is strange enough and sad enough, but on baby number 2 and baby number 3 and then baby number 4, she wasn't charged until 2001 for all 4 deaths. 3 of them were murder convictions. 1 was a manslaughter conviction. And in 2018, it was discovered she had this strange COM2 gene that could have caused a natural death for all these babies. Seems bizarre, but 90 doctors and scientists gave the okay, and her petition was filed, and she won.
Okay. Jonna Spilbor, appreciate the time and insight. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
Yeah, I didn't know that was the one you were going to play.
Oh, I didn't know that she was going to be talking about another case. I have so many different clips. I always have too many different clips. And Nora's grandmother said she remembers that case. And
Yeah,
so
I do too.
Yeah. Replace pinned image. Yes, or replace. So I posted the Portland, Oregon SK Facebook group if anyone wants to join it. It's a great group. And a lot of people in Oregon so yeah, just join it. It's a good group. I don't know what I'm saying. Just join it. what did Eliza say? The idiot didn't read the DNA report. Screaming crazy lady. Yes. Hopefully it does get the word out, Shay. Oh, thank you, Misfit. So let me see what else, because I know I have more to share as always. And oh, Edward, you made me laugh about how women attorneys are always pit bulls.
Well,
Well,
they
I
have
guess
to
they
be.
I was just gonna say that. I guess they have to be. Yes.
Now, saying that doesn't mean they can't be a lady either. They just can be fierce, but but still be ladylike.
So I have another one, another family member that's speaking out.
Oh, good. I haven't heard this one.
Yes, it's the mother of 24-year-old that was found. Told you I was sleuthing all day.
Yeah, well, I wasn't worried about that at all.
All right,
Like,
can you
if you
see
ever
my
want me to
screen?
look something up, just let me know.
Can you see the screen? It's orange.
Yes.
Okay.
Afternoon, we are following up on death investigations involving 5 women across our region. This week,
This
the
is
Portland
before it
Police
turns
Bureau
to 6.
released a statement saying the cases are not connected, but the Oregonian reports that statement might be premature. Let's bring in Mike Benner, who's looking into this. And Mike, you talked to the mother of one of the victims here.
Yeah, I did, Ashley. Her name is Diana Allen. She is the mother of Charity Perry, who was found dead in East Multnomah County. She's, of course, heartbroken over the death of her daughter, but she does not know if her death is connected to the other deaths. What she does know is that she wants answers. This is 24-year-old Charity Perry. Investigators say she was last seen in early March. More than a month later, she turned up dead in Ainsworth State Park. Her mom spoke to us by phone Wednesday.
I know that she wasn't stabbed. She wasn't hit in the head. She wasn't shot.
It's hard to ignore Diana Allen's stutter. She says it developed in the wake of her daughter's death that has turned her life upside down.
At the moment, I'm doing better than I was the first week. I got my blood pressure a little more under control.
Allen's daughter is one of 5 young women to turn up dead in and around Portland since mid-February. This has a lot of people thinking a serial killer is on the loose. But this week, the Portland Police Bureau released a statement saying they do not believe the deaths are connected. Since then, a source close to the investigation told the Oregonian that statement was premature, and detectives are always looking for commonalities in unsolved homicides. To that point, a source told the Oregonian that Southeast 82nd Avenue and an area near Clackamas Town Center was frequented by Perry, as well as Joanna Speaks, who turned up dead in northern Clark County, and Bridget Webster, whose body was found in northwest Polk County.
I feel it's very important that people recognize these girls as girls.
Allen isn't convinced the deaths are connected, but adds she wouldn't be totally shocked if eventually they are. Only time will tell. What Allen wants now is closure, and that includes learning how her daughter died and if somebody is responsible.
I've had to accept that I may have to wait quite a while to get the answers that I need.
And we certainly hope that Diana Allen gets those answers that she so desperately wants. In the meantime, if you know anything about the deaths of these 5 women, you're urged to pick up the phone and call police. Ashley.
Yeah, so awful for these victims' families not to have answers. Mike, thank you.
Oh, that's just heartbreaking.
Hold on, let me close that. Oh, that's a crazy case too.
Yeah,
All right.
that's just hard. I mean, that mama, that's a lot. Okay, when I get if I start stuttering, people better watch out. I'm gonna I can't deal with things. And that's what she sounds like to me. It's like she's like at her rope. She needs to know something about her daughter.
It's just awful.
Yeah,
It's heartbreaking listening to her.
it is. And it's heartbreaking listening to all of them. I don't mean that it's not. It's just it affects people differently, and she sounds like it's really gotten to her like it would. I'm just like stumbling all over. It just broke my heart that this stutter is from her.
Well, just like some people, they go through a traumatic experience and they end up becoming mute after. They don't talk. Like it does
Right.
things cognitively to them.
Right.
Yeah, Nora's grandma, she said, I can't believe that guy talked about her stutter. That was so insensitive.
It was.
So, oh, thank you, Lex. And let me see. So let me show some of the other missing women in the area. Let me see. Lady
Aw.
V.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I was reading the chat. Some of these things, I mean, they've got to have an idea whether, they've all been unalived, pretty much alike. So, I mean, well, it's just like I was talking at one point where I was talking to somebody. I said, the thing of it is, if they would give the families like the Gonsalves families and stuff, if they would give that at least some little information tidbits here and there along the way, maybe they wouldn't be so frustrated and aggravated, and it's funny, it's not funny, haha. It's strange that, we have BK that reminds us of Ted Bundy. And now we have this one that is like the opposite side of Bundy, towards the end there. And I kind of wonder if this guy's been doing it a lot longer than we think.
I don't know. He may have been maybe in another area. If he is a trucker, then he could have been doing it in another area. And now he's in this area. So hopefully this works. Usually when I try to go from one picture to another, it doesn't work right. But so these are the different missing women in the area. So let me try you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Abigail Murty is missing and thought to have been missing since the beginning of May. If anyone has any idea where she is, okay, so message the department. Or if you're on the Facebook page, you can message. Hopefully, again, this goes to the right picture. I'm not sure where it's going to go. Okay, so here's another one that's missing. Again, beautiful girl, fits the description of, she's 23, and a lot of these, they're small, 5 feet,
Aw.
5'2", one's 4'11", 85 pounds, so 5'3", 110. So please call with any information. Another one that's missing, last seen on April 5th. Age 40, 5 feet, 100 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. Another one, please share and let us know immediately if you have seen Tara. Her family wants her safe. See, they're all loved by someone.
Yeah.
As someone's missing all of these women. My niece is MIA for the last 6 weeks. We are seriously worried she could end up in these murdered women. She's running from jail time, and the fentanyl has her out of her mind. I heard it's bad everywhere. It's bad in California. It's bad everywhere, but I heard it's bad as well in Oregon. Again,
Yeah.
another petite one. It says she's petite, 5'3", weighs only 105. So all these women seem to be pretty petite. Let me see. Has a bad hip, walks the cane, and can't run.
Oh.
Let me see. So here's another one. Another missing woman in the area. Another beautiful girl. Another girl that's missing. 25, 5'2". See, they're all very little.
They are.
115 pounds. Last seen October 17th, 2022. Small diamond tattoo on her collarbone. If you have information, please call this number. Blue eyes, brown hair. Oh, this is about the serial killers back in the 70s to the 90s. Let me see if there's anything else. I don't know. Oh, here's another. So this is Larissa Smith Eugene in the Eugene or Springfield area. So this is just someone else that's missing. So these could be unrelated or not. It doesn't seem to fit this. She doesn't like these don't look exactly as the same as types as the other, but
No.
maybe it may be opportunity possibly, or they may not be related.
Right. You
And
know, I
this
just,
may oh, go on.
oh, I was just going to say, I mean, and we don't know. I mean, nobody can just absolutely disappear. I mean, they've got to be somewhere. I just don't know how people deal with this. I don't think I could handle it if one of my kids or somebody close to me. I don't think I could handle it if they were missing.
I don't think my mom could handle it.
I tell
Yeah.
you, just on a side note here, real quickly, I have a heart daughter, and she's not my blood, but she's a heart daughter to me. And her son, May, and Clumsy knows this because I talked to her about it. And May 13th, he went missing. We found him, but during that time, his mom was going crazy. I mean, just scared to death. And that's just like for short amount of time. I can't imagine. You know, it's like when your puppy, you go outside and you have your puppy and your puppy goes running off or something, and you'd like, oh my God, your heart sinks and all that adrenaline. You're like scared to death something's going to happen to it. I
Yes.
imagine it to be like that, but like 1,000 times worse because we're talking about a human, not a puppy, you know?
Yeah, I can imagine. So this was, I was thinking that could be the unidentified woman, possibly, because she has a scar on her left leg. I
Oh,
don't know. It says tribal affiliation. So I'm not sure. And I know they said 25 to 40. She's 53, but I know they can't know for sure. So, I mean, I'm just saying possibly. So, but last
right.
contact 10 years ago. So it's kind of a stretch. So I think now maybe anyone who's missing, they're kind of saying, oh my God, it must be connected to this, you know? I'm kind of thinking. But
Right.
yeah, so that's why I'm thinking it might be this one. This is the one that was between the ages that people think it could be this woman, this last
Cheyenne
one.
wants to know, Shay Benet wants to know if you called in the tip.
No, I haven't. What, Shay, do you think that that's possible that it could be her?
She looks a lot like her.
Because she has this scar, but it doesn't say about a tattoo. So I don't know, but that's what I'm thinking. So
Can you put the picture side by side, or is
So
that too difficult?
here. But so it says, look, so let me see. So where does it say about she has two noticeable scars on her left lower leg. And here it says a left leg has a big scar. So it says scar. It doesn't say two scars, but it does say scar. And she is tribal affiliation.
You
So
know,
I don't
I stopped my TV, and now I'm looking at the picture you have up here,
yeah.
and oh dang.
Should I go back?
Yeah.
I'm shocked. I'm not going to say anything.
Okay,
But again,
hold
you
on.
have to think after someone's now been passed away and been rigor mortis that they're going to look a lot different.
Oh yeah, definitely. But I mean, they usually do a very good job with the bone structure and everything in the face nowadays. It's unbelievable. Oh, there's Jay. Hey, Jay.
Hi, Jay. Oh, good morning. You just woke up.
But she does look a lot like her. I do have to admit.
Yeah, so that's what I'm wondering if it could be possibly her.
You know, I know we always, okay, hold on a second. Just let me compare these two faces real quick. Yeah, she looks a lot like her.
So her hair is medium length and black.
Yeah, I mean, the eyes look a lot alike. I mean, it's hard to be for a sketch, but oh, Jay wants to know if he could come up.
We're about to end it, but yeah, Jay, if you want to come up, we're going to end it soon, but you are welcome to come up. I'll put the link in. Lady V has been great.
Oh, it's been nice. I always enjoy visiting with you and getting up here and talking, SK stuff.
I know you Nora's grandma said, reminds me of when in I always say this word wrong. Indigenous. Okay. Women go
You're good.
missing. It took me a minute. I had to think about it. Go missing, or even when they are found, they don't ever get media coverage. It's true.
Yeah, okay. So I have
Hello.
thought of this. Hey, Jay, hang on a second. I have thought about this several times. These guys are cowards. They're cowards because they have to prey on women that are smaller and are less likely to be able to fight back like a man would. And it just makes me so mad sometimes that they're just big cowards.
Well, yeah, it's usually like them taking out their like problems from the past. Like either their mother wasn't nice to them, or women weren't nice to them when they were growing up, and now they're gonna live. They're gonna let that ruin their life for the rest of their lives, and then ruin
Right.
other people's lives. So they're just you're right. They are pathetic.
Val, you're on mute.
Hi, Jay.
Hi, Val. Thanks for having me up. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Like, I haven't had like stomach acid problems for years, but it was just probably a combination of things I ate. But I took these anti-acid pills, and like I felt better, but they just made me really sleepy.
Well, I hope you're feeling better. Let me get to the rest of them.
Sorry.
So it's okay. I believe that she has been found. So another beautiful girl.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I believe Gabriela Villa. If Amber's still in here, you'll have to let me know. But I think that she has been found. Because I have been looking at the group a lot. But again, totally looks again in that age range, the brown hair. Totally fits the
Yeah.
looks. Yeah. So let me go to the rest. And again, here's just the map of, so it's so like Joanna Speaks, April 8th, 2023.
Wow, they're a lot
Kristen
closer
Speaks.
than I thought.
Yeah.
You see that, that case I was telling you about, the Yorkshire Ripper in the UK. His were very spaced out, but they were all in like the north of England, if you get me.
Oh, yes. And so wait, look at this. So Charity Perry and the unidentified were both on April 24th. And then April 30th was Bridget, and May was Ashley. That's how close these are.
Very close, because in other cases I've studied, they'll give it some time before they do it again, like at least a week, to let things die down a little. But this guy's clearly, deranged because of how much he's doing it, more so than someone who would wait. So like he can't control himself. Sorry.
Oh, I was just looking at Edward's comment. Yes, I've seen that movie.
Wow, Jay, you're being quiet.
I'm not like 100% yet, so that's probably why.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm in having stomach issues today really badly too.
I thought he was being quiet because I was talking, but I was actually on mute.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering for a second, why are both of you on mute? And I was like thinking, maybe I'm gonna have to carry the end of this ship.
This shit, thanks. Okay, so let me see. Okay, wait, I had the codes of everything. Oh yeah, so this is never mind. I got out of it. But I think that I have everything. So again, like I said, Jay, we're basically ending it. I know, Lady V, you never want to end. Let me see.
Yeah, because why do you feel the need to end it, Val?
Well, okay. Well, this is the thing. When it ends naturally like this, that's one thing. But when you're like feeling rushed, like you have to end it, that's what you don't, because people are still enjoying it. That's all.
I get what you're saying. You know, I'm probably going to do a live afterwards just because talking helps me not think about what I'm going, because at the moment it's just I feel really drained, you know, and my stomach isn't hurting me anymore. But you don't realize how badly stomach acid like hurts. You know what I mean?
I
Well,
know
let me say
exactly
bye
what
to
you mean.
everybody. Let me say bye to everyone. Thank you all for being here.
Good night,
Avery.
everybody.
Everyone, I appreciate you all for being here. Thank you so much. Amber, please protect yourself. Also, I'm trying to think who was in here earlier, who was in the Oregon area. I need to think. It'll come to
Sorry,
me.
I've got a dog here.
Oh, is that Dathy?
Dathy.
Dathy, yes.
Yeah, because it is a hard name. It's an Irish name to pronounce, but yeah, he's around.
Yes.
He's
Okay.
letting his presence be known.
Oh, well, hello. And Teddy and Narla. Okay,
Yes,
so
yeah. Speaking of that, I'm gonna get some more kittens soon.
aw. So everyone, thank you so much for being here. Misfit, always Lola, thank you so much. Riddler, Shay Benet, Sparkly Unicorn, Wheelbee. I should just go. I don't know if people are still here from the top, but I'm just gonna go from the top to the bottom. I may end up saying people's name twice, but oh well, you'll get a double shout out. So Nora's grandma, always happy you're here. Clumsy, of course. Let me see. Princess Megan Elsa. Amethyst Pisces. Mark Klein. Edward, I might have said your name, but yes. Pirate Radio. Riddler, I think I said that, yes. But you're getting a double shout out. Max Smith. And I'm scrolling. Yes, Dave G, thank you for being here. It was so good to see a bunch of the people that used to be here in here again. So thank you for coming.
Oh, that's great. It seems like people have been getting the notifications, because I certainly got the one for your video in your beret, which I really enjoyed.
Oh, I'm happy you got that. Sparkly Unicorn, I think I said to you, but I love your name, so wanted to say it again. Let me see who else. Scrolling down, we get to the bottom. I'll just go to the bottom. All right. I think I have Ava, of course. And okay, who else do I have? Dom S.
Did you say
Liza or Lisa? Okay, I said
Lisa.
it right for once. Yes, Lisa. Okay. And okay, there's more people I know that I'm missing that were here. I'm trying to get everybody.
Did you say will be?
Wheelbee, I don't know if I said you, but
You did, but it's nice to say people twice. It shows you care.
All right. I think if I didn't get you, I'm sorry. You can send me an email and yell at me. Let's leave here.
Send
All right,
them to me. Send
everybody.
them to me. She gets enough of them.
All right, Pirate Radio. Everyone, I hope you have a great night. Thank you so much. Please join that Facebook group. I believe I have it pinned. Oh, and before I forget, okay, please check out our mascot video. Austin, yes, there you are.
Yes,
You're making a
it's so
thinking
cute.
face.
Wait,
Thank you for
I have
being
a
here,
question.
Austin. Sweet
I have-
Melissa Jade, you were here too. Okay, yes. There was also other people, but I can't think of their names. I'm gonna remember after I get off. But okay.
And then you
Okay,
can do
just a
another
second.
live dedicated to thanking all of those people.
Just a second. Does he really make that noise when he eats?
Yes, that's his chomping. So
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
check out it for some reason wouldn't go as a video, it would go as a short, and for some reason when I do shorts it doesn't like let the subs know.
I never get notifications for anyone's shorts. I don't know why.
I don't know why either. So everyone, please take a look at the short. It's of our mascot, Snappy Leo, and it's so cute. He's eating a watermelon, what we first talked about when the channel started, about turtles eating watermelons. So please look at the video. It's very cute. You're always messing with me, Austin. And Lex Luthor said, go live more. That's my plan. I just want to start going live more regularly. Yes. And Crane Hill Gal, thank you for being here.
Yeah, this is just a one-off. I'll usually always be here, and you know I'm going to watch all of the replay when I get the chance.
And Clemsy, I'm not sure if you're still here, but hopefully Clemsy should probably be going live too. If anyone wants to put, are you still here, Clemsy?
I haven't. I don't remember seeing her for a while.
Oh, she's probably getting ready for her live. Let me
so.
see. Let me see, because
I'm trying to find.
You're trying to find what?
Oh, I was gonna try to find her. I was gonna go to her website, her YouTube, and put her link in here
website
for her. Yeah, sorry.
That's what I wanted to put her. I'll look too while we're here.
Yeah.
While we're still here.
Because I was going to do live for a little, but obviously when she goes on, I'll stop because I don't like to go over people who are my friends, you know.
She's starting at 12. She's starting in 30 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to put Clumsy's link in the live.
Well,
Yeah, I can just do something
same
quick
time you
for
did.
30 minutes.
Oh.
Actually, I'm not going to put that onto myself. I probably shouldn't, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you do what you want. I did put your link in chat though.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, I'll do it because I did have some pretty crazy dreams that I'm sure people would like to hear about. Because I always do when I get ill. I just get these weird dreams.
Yeah.
Would you like to come, Val, or are you?
I'm like on no sleep right now at all.
Oh yeah, shit. Yeah, you are. You barely had any sleep, so I'm probably not gonna do it then because I was only really wanting to do it if you could be there for a little bit of time. But
well,
since
I can
that,
let you go. You guys can talk behind the scenes here if you want.
oh, obviously, yeah.
Hey Shay, hey Misfit, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much.
I know I'm still on live. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, and please check out Clumsy's channel. All right. Thanks, Shay and Misfit, for putting in the links. All right. Have a great night, everyone.
Thank
Bye,
you.
guys.
Thank you.